Good morning, everybody. I'm here today to finish off the explanation about designing your China roadmap. Over the last 8 videos, I've been talking about the 8 superpowers and the 3 milestones that are needed to be able to grow and ultimately focus on your China business, which is superpower number 9. It's focus. One of the biggest mistakes that happened to me in my China journey was that in the first 5 to 6 years of operating, so this would have been from 2003 to about 2008, 2009, my focus was on fixing problems and creating solutions versus focusing on growth. The result was, because I was fixating and focusing on problems that were occurring, either internally or with clients, or whatever the situation was, the company remained static. It was not growing. In some instances, it was even going backwards because I just could not get this boat to become stable. And my focus was so much on getting the problem solved versus actually saying, you know what, guys, we got to restart this business, or delegating that work to a higher senior level individual so that I would have the ability to push the company forward and think about growth. This problem happens to a lot of foreign investors in China, particularly those that are small, medium-sized, where problems do happen more frequently because you're not proactively foreseeing them, which is something I spoke about yesterday. We want to be proactive in our entity so that we can focus and make decisions on our company. As leaders, where should we be placing our focus? Our focus should be placed on the strategy, whether we need to pivot it, whether we need to change directions, whether we need to exit the market. Our focus needs to be made on making decisions, strategic, tactical decisions. Do we have that capability, or are we still focusing on making decisions on the operational side of things, or on the efficiency of the company, or on the administrative and compliance aspects? That's not where our focus should be. Our focus should be on the strategical side of the business, the financial side of the business, looking at the numbers, analyzing those numbers, seeing where things can be fixed from a strategical point of view. We need to know what the company looks like today, what it's going to look like next year, what it's going to look like in 5 years, look like in 10 years. We are the ones that have to project and see where this company is going. Our goal, and everybody's goal in the Chinese market, is number 1, to make money, is to make it quickly and as painlessly as possible. That is everybody's goal. So let's make sure that we as leaders are creating a foundation of our company, which is all the superpowers leading up to superpower number 8, which is getting an education and getting a consistent education. Market research and data has to be consistent, cannot be static and then you forget about it. It has to be consistent. Writing, putting pen to paper to create that strategy and making it a working document so that you are constantly pivoting and explaining to your investors and board of directors how you're evolving the company in China. Because flexibility and this type of mindset where you're able to adapt your organization is critical in China. Going all the way through to having an ecosystem of people who are going to help you so that you can place your time on focusing on the business. All right? I can't do everything. I wish I was Superwoman. I'm not Superwoman. All right? And I need that ecosystem to be able to delegate, get advice, and get responses at the spur of the moment so we can push the company forward. Then we're looking at evaluating our assets, protecting those assets, creating the operational guidelines and system processes and executing those, moving on to the financial aspect, which is the numbers. I would also like to say that the numbers is not just the financial aspect, but it's also the data-driven numbers. And then looking at the analysis work, okay? The analysis work should not actually also be done by you as a leader. It should be done by your team, getting them involved in the business, right? So that the analytical work comes to you, you are able to assess where you are today and where do you want to be in the future and make decisions on how you're going to get there. All right? So out of these 9 superpowers, once we have achieved that and maintained a rhythm and a routine, my belief is, especially because of the pandemic, is we want to be consistent in order to build momentum in the Chinese market. We have to be consistent to build momentum and growth in the Chinese market. The only way you can do that is if you focus on the strategical aspects of your organization and know how you're going to push the company forward. That's designing your China roadmap. And everybody's roadmap is going to be different. Everybody's China journey is going to be different. But what I hope I've explained in the last 9 videos, including this one, is the fact that you've got to create a foundation that you're going to build your company on in China so that you can have consistency and build momentum. That's designing your China roadmap. And if you've got any questions about designing your own roadmap and what you need to think about based on the sector or industry that you are in, then reach out and let's have a strategy call. I hope this has helped, and I look forward again to seeing you tomorrow. Take care and goodbye.